Business credit. Do you know how to use business credit? Do you know what business credit is compared to personal credit? How do you as a businessman, businesswoman, take out loans, use money, and help grow your finances specifically for business? I'm going to show you in this video. For more videos about tea, business, and making a profit, check out Zen's YouTube channel or Zen's corporate website at zensteahouse.com. First off, let's make it clear. Business credit is not the same as personal credit. Although if you have good personal credit, it is a prerequisite to getting good business credit. When it comes to credit, it's all about credibility. It's all about your reputation, okay? In business, if you have a reputation of not making good financial decisions, then institutions, banks, vendors, people will not want to give you money. Not that they really give it to you, they sell it to you. 15%, 20% interest rate, and there are some sharks, yes, they are sharks, they're going to try to get you to sign off on a 30% interest rate. They're going to charge you 15% up front, and they're going to nickel and dime you on everything. I've been there, done that, and I'm going to give you the good and bad and the ugly side of business credit. First off, let's begin. Not everyone needs to use business credit, specifically credit cards, loans, product financing. Maybe you want to launch your own restaurant, cafe. You don't want to spend thousands of dollars on an espresso machine, refrigeration. So you go to the bank and say, hey, can you give me a loan so I can buy this nice $5,000 refrigerator? It's not a good idea when you're launching your business because there's so many expenses up front, not including employees. So you have to really count the costs. Are you going to be able to make a profit in a relatively quick amount of time to pay back that loan? This is how business credit works. You take out loans to run your business. It's also referred to as working capital. I like to ask people, how good are you at saving money? Because in business, if you are using your own personal finances to help fund the project, watch out, it's very scary. That's called commingling, and it can get you in a lot of trouble. There are some people in business who will use their personal finances to fund the project. I understand that. Humble beginnings, no one wants to give you a chance. No one wants to give you business credit. But your credibility will help you get your finances off to a good start. For example, I had a credit card. I don't have credit cards anymore, and I don't have business credit cards. But when I had a credit card, I paid it off every month, and it set the precedence that, hey, I had good credit. But when it came to opening up a business, that was a different story. When I applied for a nice little office space, it was 350 square feet when I first applied. Didn't really bother much. But then I got a warehouse over 1,000 square feet. Plus, I still had the other lease for the 350 square foot space. The landlord and the agent had to look at me personally and say, young man, how long have you been in business? Less than a year. What'd you do before this? I was in the military. Ooh, military people, veterans specifically, of course, military, prior military, active military, military men and women have a good reputation of not giving up. It's kind of what makes them military personnel. Well, that also plays into your business credit because people are going to look at you as a person. When you are applying for loans, they're going to look at your bank accounts, they're going to look at your cash flow or their consistent deposits. If you have $100 deposited every day, that's a good sign. But if it goes from $1,000 up to $10,000 once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, but the rest of the week is kind of empty, that's not a good sign. So your business credit is dependent on stability, stable cash flow. It also depends on you as a person, your reputation. If you have a good reputation, vendors are going to give you 30 days to pay off the bill. If you have a poor reputation, they ain't going to give you credit. They're going to say, you better pay for that up front. I'm not going to ship anything to you. I'm not going to drop it off. You have to pay now. As you develop a reputation, paying your bills on time, taking care of your employees, being a good neighbor. That's a huge thing, by the way, because seasoned loan people, that is like loan officers and even loan sharks, they're going to talk to your neighbors. Hey, does Fernando with Zen's Tea House, does he clean up the mess? Does he take out the trash? Does he pick up the trash that people leave in front of his own store? That's the type of credit you need to help boost your business credit. Yes, there's business credit. I'm going to talk about how to use finances to get your business credit up and going. But before we even talk about the real finances, the nitty gritty, I want to share with you how important it is for you as a person to be of good credibility. That credit is credibility in business. All right? In business, it's all about who you trust. And the most successful people in business, okay? I'm telling you right now, the most successful people in business are really good at people. They know how to read them. They know what they can trust, who not to trust, when to walk away, and when to run away. That is a person who is loaning out money. That's a person who's investing in people. And that is credibility. All right, that's the prerequisite. Now we're going to talk about the fun part. How is business rates calculated? It's all about cash flow. Have you read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? If you have money going into the bank account consistently, you're not missing any payments, and that is you deposits every day. And the expenses are less than the deposits. So your bank accounts are increasing, right? I started off at I had a credit union. I'm not going to drop the name. I'll do it anyways. Credit union in Southern California. I loved those guys. I was a sole proprietor, but then I incorporated in my third year in business. And then in my fourth year, I saw a little more deposits going in. And then by the fifth year, I had $1 million in sales. The credit union stopped working with me. They said I was putting too much money in the bank account. Yes, the credit union in Southern California said that to me. I opened up my first bank account when I was 14 years old with them. That's a real thing. That is when I had to switch to banks. Banks want to see you making deposits all the time. Credit unions, they don't really care about that. They just want to see a lot of money in the bank. If you have $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 in the bank, guess what? You're already pre-qualified for a loan. That's not the case for business. In business, they want to see more deposits coming in than expenses, and they want stability. If you have $100,000 going to the bank account 1 month, and the expenses are just slowly coming out. So you got $100,000, $90,000, $80,000, $50,000, $60,000, $20,000. And then another deposit for another $150,000, well, the bank is going to see that and saying, this guy is just taking loans. He's taking one loan from one institution and depositing it to our bank account. And mind you, it's called a Ponzi scheme. You take loan from one place, you get good credit at one institution, and you deposit that money into another institution. And then you use that institution, let's just say Chase Bank versus US Bank. Chase Bank says, all right, we got $100,000 in the bank. We see deposits coming in. We're going to give you a loan. US Bank says, you paid us all back. We're going to give you another loan. So you take loan after loan after loan after loan. As long as you're paying that money back and you got the money coming in and you're paying the interest rate, guess what? The credit will go up. This is institutions, business institutions. Credit unions don't work that way. Banks do. And if you do this over time, they're going to give you more and more money. Why do they do that? They don't really give it to you. They sell you it at a price, okay? I always thought it was weird that banks would charge me fees when I'm depositing $100,000 into their bank. But somehow they justify charging me $25 a month. Whatever. That's just business. But your business credit will increase so long as your deposits keep going up and they are consistent. Now, let's say you get loan after loan, business loan after business loan because they see your money's coming in. Guess what? Your banks are saying, we want to give you more and more money. We want to loan you money, really, because they know that you are a safe bet. Now you want to start a new project. You can, in theory, use the funding for your current successful business to fund a new project. But technically that would be commingling, and it's not something we suggest. If you find this helpful, if you want more information about how to build your credit, It begins with you as a person. Your business credit, if your personal credit is shot, well, then you need to build that up and then develop your business credit with your business bank account. Have a good relationship with your banker and don't use one bank. You have to have multiple institutions. There's something called merchant services, PayPal, Square, these Venmo, where if you're taking a bunch of transactions, they're going to say, Mr. Lopez, we see that you've been taking card transactions very well for X amount of months, X amount of years. We're going to give you a cash advancement. That too is a way to get more funding and to build your credit. If you have a Clover device or any merchant process services, they will also give you finances. Once you have business institutions lending you money, then you now go to other banks, other institutions and say, look, US Bank wants to give me X amount of money. Chase is giving me X amount of money. I could click PayPal right here. Oh, and Shopify too. That Shopify, Stripe, they're going to give me money. And now you start comparing rates and you get them to compete with one another. And that's how you build out your credit even more. Because the sucker takes whatever deal is right in front of them. To truly build your business credit is to work with different institutions. And by the way, these institutions talk to one another. So you get to the big guys and you finally realize that there's only so many big banks and they all kind of run money through these smaller banks. You will build a reputation and your credit will be really good as long as you don't default or go bankrupt. And you know what? If you do go bankrupt, well, guess what? It happens. That's why it's business. All right? Hope you found this helpful. If you want one-on-one coaching on how to build your business credit, I know a guy who can help you. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment below.